Welcome, you amazing artists. Today what we're going to do is we are going to get the proportions and the groundwork down for our pop can drawing that over accentuates foreshortening. We're going to kind of exaggerate the foreshortening of a soda can as you look down upon it, as you gaze down upon this beautiful creation. So here's what's going to happen. What you're going to need for this is you're going to need two objects that have kind of a larger circular circumference on it. So these two should work pretty good for the top two circles I need to make. And then you want one that's a little bit smaller, actually quite a bit smaller for the bottom. Okay, I could use this. I also have little cups here too that work out really good. Both of these would actually be kind of nice to use. We're going to kind of experiment, see what works a little bit better for this. So very easy, very simply to get started. What you're going to do is you're going to take your sheet of paper. Okay, you're going to take your larger circle, place it towards the top portion of your paper. Give a little distance from the top. Make sure that it doesn't extend too far out on the sides here. Boy, this is going to be a nice big soda can. All right, this will be a beautiful drawing. All right, I'm just going to go ahead, just trace this out. Okay, all right, so that's the first one I got. Now, just to give you guys a heads up as far as what we're doing, what we're creating, and kind of what this is going to look like, what I've essentially done is on here. Okay, you can see this. The bigger circle is going to be this little ridge that kind of comes down here on the soda can. The smaller one is going to be the metal part that's the top of that soda can. All right, so this is going to be this, I guess you would call it the smaller, larger circle, is going to be done right up here. So I usually go ahead, oh boy, that's actually going to be quite a bit smaller. Let's go ahead, let's see here. I don't know if I want to do that then, if it's going to be so much smaller. Ooh, I could take that. Hold on, let me see if I can go ahead and find something that works a little bit better. All right, I'm back. So I found an object I think that'll work a little bit better. This circle is just not quite as big as the first one, and it's a little bit better than that last one I was using. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to position this, okay, up towards the top ridge of that first circle, and I'm just going to go ahead and trace out the second circle. Now I'm going to make my circles a little bit darker because I noticed too that they're just not quite showing up. So I got this up here. Now you want to have a little bit of a gap right here, and you want to have it be a little bit smaller. Or even you could have it touch it, okay? But right now I think that should be okay. It's a little off center, but you know what, we're gonna make this work. So that should be working out pretty good. So the next thing I wanna do is this. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go with the smaller circle. All right, the really small one. We're gonna put this one down below here, and it has to overlap, okay? It has to overlap a little bit of that bigger circle we have. And I'm just gonna go ahead and trace this out. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this, boom. So we have this. Now, once we have my three circles on here, then what I want to do is the outer edge of the circle here, the outer edge of the big circle here, take my ruler. I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to take a flat edge ruler. If you got one, that's great. If not, use just a straight piece of paper. And you're just going to connect these up. Okay? Now, because I drew this a little bit darker, I'm going to have a little erasing to do. So this is pretty much the general foundation of this can. You can see how large this is up here. Remember, with foreshortening, things that are closer to yours are going to be extremely large, and things as they get farther away are going to be a lot smaller. That's kind of the whole concept that we're kind of working in with right here. All right, so there you go. That's not a bad shape. Like I said, the only thing that really kind of bugs me right now is that this is a little bit off center, but you know what, we're going to go for it. Now, once you get this in here, the next thing you want to do is this. I usually like to have kids use an example of a can, just to kind of see where things kind of line up and kind of what things look like, especially on the top, okay? Because if you look at this, the opening that we have right here takes up a good chunk of your top, okay? I would say almost about half of it. So I go in here, I'm just gonna go ahead and trace out almost like an oval shape that is almost halfway, almost from the radius on out from the circle, all right, is gonna be the opening. Now, a few other things too. A lot of times you're gonna have like a little bit of a ridge up and through here from the metal. All right, if you want to go ahead and kind of freehand that, you can. If you want to try to find a smaller circle to get that just right, you can do that too. That's entirely up to you. All right, also too, what's going to happen is you're going to have like that little, I guess you could call a little bit of an indentation in through here. All right, that allows kind of that beverage that you're enjoying to kind of sink down in that little spot there. I'm going to go ahead and kind of draw that, and it's going to be a little bit wider up here, and it's going to gradually just kind of taper away as you get farther down there. All right, so we've got this in through here. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put in that pop tab. All right, now the pop tab kind of overlaps a little bit of my opening here. All right, and it kind of comes back here, and it doesn't quite go all the way up to this indentation, does it? So there's a little bit of a space there. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of leave a little bit of a space. All right, I'm going to go ahead and kind of round this off right through there. And definitely take a look. Take a look at this shape. All right, pay attention to some of the details. Get some of those in there. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of erase a little bit through here. Looks pretty good there. All right, got a little shape right through here. This is where it kind of connects up there as well. You know, with the whole writing, some kids like to put the writing that's on the top of the can. You know, that's not absolutely necessary, because what I'm more concerned about is just getting kind of the tints and the shades and the values that take place up here. I think that's probably more important than trying to get that writing in through there. So yeah, can I use that as kind of like, okay, it's there, but we're not gonna necessarily worry about it. All right. So that looks pretty good. I can go ahead and kind of maybe add a little bit of the lid kind of down through here. And then of course this is going to be nice and black right through there when we get to this. Now there's also this shape. I don't know if all soda cans have this or not, but I also have this kind of little shape right here. A little embossed shape that kind of comes around through here, comes up, all right, then rounds up right here through here. Now, that's the top. That looks pretty good. I got my general shapes in there. Now the other things too, you guys, that are kind of nice. If you got some bigger shapes on the side of your can, you can go ahead and draw those in. Like with Coke can, you know, obviously the words are kind of nice. If you want to kind of take the right perspective and kind of look down at this and kind of try to get some of those letters on here, you can. It's really difficult, especially to get lettering on here at kind of an odd angle. But if you can go ahead and kind of do that, go for it. I think that's fantastic. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of widen this up a little bit more up here. All right, get my O right there, my C. Boom. All right, we're just going to stop about right there, okay? All right, so that looks pretty good. So right now, this looks good. I got kind of the general shapes of this. I got the over-exaggerated foreshortening going on, some of the details taking place. The next step is to go in now and add a little bit of color if you want, or we could go black and white with just some values, okay? So good luck, everybody. We can't wait to see what you create.